It's the one and only. I'm back at it again. Yes, 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 yes. Hello to all of the valued members of the African Superstar family. Also, I want to give a big shout out to everybody doing business with the one and only African Superstar. Apparently, you guys have been waiting for these bespoke tours because I've been getting a lot of correspondence with you guys. I say if you send me an email, make sure you're checking your emails for the response because I do respond very quickly. I've also left on the community tab my tour questionnaire only for serious inquiries to help me kind of customize and get a gauge of what you are looking to do when you come to Ghana. All right, big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Yes, we're back at it again on that proximity one more time. Yes. Please, when you come into the room, be on code. Yes, I see whoever is there on code. I see you. Make sure you get into the chat room. Just a little bit of decorum. Live streams are interactive. Okay, so when you come here, please make sure that you are interactive. If you're new to our channel, please make sure you subscribe. This is my very popular series, Proximity. I currently have 8 videos on Proximity. I have a playlist, which is also on the community tab. What's up, Sir Patrick? You're the first one there in the room. I see you on code, brother. Yes, yes, yes. When you come in the room, do the needful, okay? Do the needful. Tonight's topic is proximity, obesity, poor health, and toxic food, okay? Now, I've touched on these topics in conjunction with my other topics briefly and things like that. I talked about the pharmaceutical industry, which is one of the leading industries in America, which basically means we want to medicate you and get you perpetually taking medication. What's the fastest way to make sure everybody is getting polluted? We will alter the water source. We will alter the food. We will put a lot of chemicals in the food. Those of you guys that live in America and have not traveled much in the world, you don't even know how toxic and dangerous your foods are, how your health care is preying upon you, how the pharmaceutical industry is gambling with your health because of profits, because it's capitalism. Okay, I have some videos obviously to show, yes, because it's not just the African superstar that says these things. These things are happening worldwide, and it seems like, unfortunately, many Americans, many Westerners are the last to know of their overall situation. This is another symptom of proximity. When you are living in an environment who gambles with your health for money, okay? These companies that put a lot of chemicals in your food, they send money to the CDC and the American government to get the rights and the ability to do this to the American people. Why do they fill your food with a lot of chemicals? Well, because it's cheaper. Okay. Any of you guys eat organic foods or whole foods, you know that they are more expensive. Salads and produce and fresh meat and those kind of things are more expensive than the junk foods, the sweets, and these kind of things, the processed foods. So obviously the companies that are producing food, they can make a lot more profits when they're giving you garbage ingredients. Hello. And making the money for those garbage ingredients. Okay, guys, let me pause and let you hit the likes. Y'all know by now. Y'all know by now. Get the lights up right now. Get in the chat room. This series been going on for a couple weeks, guys. Let's get on code, all right? We have 5 of you viewing. We have 1 like. Does that equate? No, it doesn't. Get in the chat room. Hello. Shout outs to the African Superstar family, everybody who's in the building. You're here because you want to hear this topic. You're here because you enjoy the series. Why do I have to pull teeth to get a like? What's up, guys? Let's get the likes up. I'm waiting. I am waiting on you. We are waiting on you. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Obesity, poor health, and toxic food. This is one of the prices that you're going to pay in the Western world. Obesity The US is currently the 14th leading country in obesity. Um, that's pretty bad. There's 195 countries in the whole world, and America's in the top quarter. Yeah, really bad. So, poor health. I talked about how obviously the whole healthcare industry, the whole pharmaceutical industry, they make money. If you actually take the concept and look at the fact that hospitals are businesses, okay, every time you got to go see a medical professional, you're sending in that copay, you're paying for medications. Okay, sometimes you have to go see specialists for various conditions. Okay, it's money making. Okay, that means when the hospital beds are empty, the hospital's not making money. They have stock in making sure that they have a constant stream of patients coming through there. Okay, this is why for many of you guys, you have experienced chronic conditions like for years or decades because these doctors have no interest in healing you. Okay, they make a lot more money when you are a chronic patient. You're coming consistently, you never get healed, and they're just medicating you. And for those of you guys that take medications, you know that these medications are also really expensive. Sometimes your insurance doesn't cover it. Even if you're having a copay or is supposed to have some kind of prescription deal, you're still paying a lot of out of pocket for these type of things. All right. And toxic foods. I mean, literally everyone who leaves the US and goes to other nations make videos, talk about the quality of food, how the food tastes different, how they lose weight when they travel abroad, how the food regulations are different. Okay, but there's an age-old adage that says you are what you eat. Okay, so if you are eating poor foods, you can expect that to have an effect on you ultimately. What's up, guys? Only Sir Patrick is here. Okay, at the 10-minute mark, if you guys aren't in here, I'll just end the stream. Because it's just crazy. Shout outs to the African Superstar family. Okay, I have 3 videos to show you guys. I'm going to wait till the 10-minute markers to give you guys an opportunity to get involved. You can get in the chat room. Let me know where you're viewing from. Say hello. Make comments about the topic, anything. But it shows that we're having 6 of you here, and there's only 1 in the chat room, and there's not enough likes. So I don't get it. I don't get it with you guys. Proximity is the silent killer of the diaspora. When you start to equate all of the areas and the deficits, okay, you realize that I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm taking a lot of L's in a lot of departments, and I'm not really benefiting that much. And I mean, when like my daddy used to help me make decisions. One of the things that my daddy taught me when I was struggling to make a decision is you put the topic on a piece of paper, okay? Half the paper is labeled pro, half the paper is labeled con, all right? You start going through and you start talking about, okay, what are the benefits of being in this environment? What are the benefits of our people being in this environment? I can assure you the cons are like 10 times the pros in the Western world. We are legit at the bottom of the totem pole all the time. The least respected, in a poor financial position, community in shambles, facing the racial construct, discrimination, systematic racism. I mean, when you start boiling it down, it's just like the cons greatly outweigh the pros. And that's part of the motivation behind this. Hello, what's up, Matrell? That's part of the motivation behind this topic, because a lot of us don't realize we are really taking the L in that environment. We have been brainwashed psychologically to think that environment is ideally the best for us. Now, realistically, you can't deduce that until you have some points of reference and comparison. Okay? Especially if you're not happy. Okay, if you're happy in that environment, it may be suited for you. But if you're unhappy in that environment, that is an indication that you probably need to investigate other options because it's not the only option. All right, big shout out to the family. Thank you guys for getting the likes up. Thank you guys for, yes, it's a struggle to get you guys to participate, which I don't understand because you're choosing to be here. But hey, all right, so let's first talk about the obesity. So, in this video, we have a young man who left the US and traveled to France. And he immediately noticed that the French people were very slender, and that the Americans were always the obese ones, always the fat ones. He said he can pick them out in a crowd, you know? So, let's watch this video from TikTok.
I just got back from France when I was sitting out having breakfast and I was looking at all the French people that were there were thin. All the Americans that were there visiting were fat.
Right, right.
And me and my friend were sitting there going, damn, this should be some kind of experiment, like a documentary, really, where you travel around and you look at the folks, and even like all my friends that I know from Africa that look phenomenal,
right, right.
because they're physically exercising, but they're also eating natural stuff from their country. So does America just want us to be fat and dependent on
do they want us to be
medicine?
Fat, or do they want us to be sick?
Right.
Because when you see fatness, you see sickness.
So you're raising kids now, and your kids don't get to water fast, right?
No.
Kids don't water fast.
No, but my children eat nothing but fruits and vegetables. They don't eat nothing coming out of a store in a package.
And they don't eat meat?
At all.
So what if your kids are riding by McDonald's one day and go, Dad, I really want a cheeseburger? Like,
they don't even know what a McDonald's is.
Really?
They just see a building. They don't know what it is.
Okay, so this podcast is called Hollywood Unlocked. And there, of course, these two gentlemen are discussing, obesity issues, basically. And I mean, in a lot of cases, when you come from America, you may not realize how identifiable we are in the international community because of the obesity. A lot of things go into the obesity. Obviously, you have the eating, the type and quality of food, the chemicals, and you also have hormones that are being put into the food to mature it faster, such as your meats, your chicken, your beef, and things like that. Obviously, in a capitalist world, it's all about time, it's all about dollars, all right? They need that food to be, if it takes, I don't know, I'm not a farmer, but let's say if it takes 2 months for the chicken to be ready, they want that chicken to be ready in a month. Okay? So that they can sell it and make money. So these gentlemen were having that conversation. The next video I want to show you, I had another one. Let me see if I have it. What was that other one? It might not be on here. Okay. All right. It just came to mind. I had another video, but let's talk. This one is about, so that first one was about obesity. And then here's another video about a world traveler. And he talks about how when he travels abroad, he can eat whatever he wants and he won't gain weight. But he can maintain that same type of eating patterns in the US, he will automatically gain weight. A lot of us diasporans that talk, we go back and forth and things like that. It's the same thing. I gained a frightening amount of weight last summer just being there for 3 months, eating, the foods around. Obviously, I will be honest, I indulged. I went to restaurants that I haven't been to in years because I haven't spent that amount of time in the US since 2017. So I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant. I went to my favorite, steakhouse. I had Chipotle. I indulged in those things during my vacation and paid the price.
So America has this obesity problem that is actually crazy out of control. And I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go with this. What I will say is this. I don't think that people understand how hard it is to actually stay in shape in America. People do not understand that if you don't want to be even 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight, let alone the people that are walking around 50, 60, 80, 100 pounds overweight, you literally have to watch every single thing that you eat here. And the reason that you have to watch every single thing you eat here is because there are so many toxins in our foods. There are so many additives. There are literally so many things in our average meal that we eat as Americans that are making us fat that most people don't know the difference, and most people literally do not have the discipline that it takes to negotiate these kinds of choices. Now, I'm on my way out of the country for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to say where I'm going, but it is not America. And when I go to this particular country, I notice that I can eat pretty much whatever I want and not gain any weight, or the weight that I gain will be minimal. But if I try to keep up those same eating habits when I get back to the States, I will literally gain like 10 pounds in a weekend. So our food system is completely insane, and I think that we fail Americans because most people do not know how to correctly feed themselves to avoid being obese.
Yes. So that gentleman was talking about obesity. What's up, family? Guys, if you're here, please be on code. Just get in the chat room, say hello, hit the likes, okay? And this last video was pretty profound, talking about, this is something actually I learned when I moved to the UK, which was that a lot of foods that are legal in the US are illegal in the UK because of the chemicals put into the foods. And that was very shocking. And like I've mentioned on previous videos, when you live in the UK provides healthcare for the people. Therefore, they regulate the food a lot because they know that if you eat bad food, the likelihood of you getting sick is higher. And guess what? They're going to have to foot that bill because they provide national health care. You see, so in the Western world, where they're going to rather capitalize off of you getting sick, they have no interest or benefit in you being healthy. The more you have to rely on the system, that's coming out of your pocket, not their pocket. In England, for instance, they have an interest in making sure they reduce, the amount of people that are utilizing the system because they have to pay the bill. You see? All right, so let me share this last video with you guys and then we will continue the conversation. Shout outs to the family. Leave me some comments in there. I'm coming to do comments after this video.
America's food is banned in 30 countries. The food is killing people. Oh yeah, it's definitely killing people. If somebody were to buy a bag of Lay's potato chips versus buying it in Europe and look at the ingredients, they're totally different. They will make the healthier version for another country. There's over 10,000 food chemicals that are allowed in the American population or food system that aren't allowed in other countries. It makes it easier for food companies, gives them longer shelf life because they're putting so many chemicals in it. So anytime we lobby for healthier food choices in our school systems, in our neighborhoods, the food industry is going right behind them with billions and millions of dollars saying, no, we can't do that.
Yes. So this young man is talking about, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, these food companies, they lobby. Okay. Lobby is just a fancy word for bribe. Okay. They basically pay whoever they need to, the FDA, the CDC, to get this food allowed. And we see also there has been a spike in childhood obesity. When I was a kid back in the days, the lunches that they provided at the school were very nutritious. I remember we used to have chocolate milk, there would be vegetables, and as a kid, you want the pizza, you want the Subway, you want the fast food or the tasty food. And the school lunches were known to be more nutritional than tasty. I mean, when we had the little fiestada, little pizzas on the week, Friday, that was kind of the highlight for school lunches. It has changed, now they have started bringing in a lot of this kind of fast food and processed food to the kids, and voila, children are developing diabetes, they're getting having obesity problems. Guys, proximity, the fact that we don't even think twice about living among these people is a clear sign of brainwashing. Because why we would think that living among them is actually in our interest, our best interest, is totally bizarre. Totally bizarre. And again, people in America don't even know. It's like everybody knows except Americans that obesity is a huge problem. Everybody knows except Americans that there's a lot of chemicals in their food. Everybody knows except Americans that these pharmaceutical companies are killing it. Let's get some facts and figures on the pharmaceutical companies. What's up, family? If you are here, please get in there. Let's see. Let me see here. Performance. And also, did you guys know that you know those commercials that they advertise in America for the prescription drugs? Yeah, those are illegal outside of the US. The US is the only country that advertise prescription medicine. Huh? I learned that when I moved to the UK. Yes. So they advertise medicine. You know, and obviously I've always felt that those adverts that come on the TV, that they're so deceptive, you know, because they usually show people frolicking around and people happy, and they give this illusion that, okay, you take this and it's going to solve your problems. And then in the fine, you know, the fine print, the little language at the end, this medicine also causes seizures. Do not take if you're pregnant. You may have unexplained bleeding, headaches, suicidal thoughts. You know, when they do the quick run through of all of the potential side effects. All right. So let me give you some facts and figures of these pharmaceutical companies, how much money they are making. Okay. In 2023, the top performing pharmaceutical companies in the US by revenue included Johnson & Johnson, Roche, Merck, Pfizer, and AbbVie, with the US pharmaceutical market estimated at $634.32 billion in 2024 and projected to reach 883.97 billion by 2030. Okay, guys, we are in what year? Hello, first trivia question. What's the year? What's the year? Let me know the year. You guys can at least do that. Let me get some activity in the chat room. What year is it? What year is it? This year that we're in. Let me read this for effect while you guys figure it out. The U.S. pharmaceutical market estimated at $634.32 billion in 2024. That was last year. A little, you know, hint. Last year was 2024. What year is this year? Guys, please. Nobody knows what year it is. For God's sake, Jesus Christ. I mean, these trivia questions are like breathing. How hard is it to type in the year? What's going on? Last year in 2024, the pharmaceutical industry was at 634.32 billion. Okay. Obviously, you guys don't know what year it is. Thank you, Matrell. My God. I was like, it says there's 12 of you here and nobody knows what year it is. That's very, very ridiculous. Okay. So we are now in 2025. Thank you so much, Matrell. It says that it is projected to reach 883.97 billion by 2030. Guys, that's 5 years away. They are going to increase the pharmaceutical market earnings by almost 200 billion in 5 years. What the hell does it mean, guys? It means a whole lot more of you are going to be taking medications or laid up. Okay? They're not talking about property taxes. They're not talking about some new tech startup. They're talking about a pharmaceutical company. It means that they are making medicine. Okay, so they are projecting that in just 5 years, the amount of pharmaceuticals they're going to be selling is going to increase their profits by almost 200 billion. How can they make these statistics unless they are complicit in making sure that earnings are on the rise? How do you, as a pharmaceutical company, make sure that profits are on the rise? Let's just ask. I'm going to ask Google, so we'll get specifics. How do, let's see. Shout outs to the African Superstar family. After this, I'm going to start with the comments. Okay, so please make sure you guys like the stream. You can leave some comments in there for me. You can support the stream. You can send a love offering. Hello, if this proximity series has been good to you. All right, so according to Google, how pharmaceutical companies make money is selling patented medicines and generating revenue through dispensing fees, spread pricing, and other related services like over-the-counter sales and health screenings. Okay? Drug sales. They earn revenue by selling these patented drugs to pharmacies, hospitals, and directly to consumers. Okay, spread pricing. Pharmacies also make money by charging patients or insurance companies a higher price for the drug than what they pay the wholesaler, with the difference being their profit margin. Pharmacies also generate income from over-the-counter sales and other health-related services like flu shots or health screenings. Hey. And last but not least, marketing. Pharmaceutical companies also spend a significant amount on marketing and sales, which can be a substantial portion of their overall expenses. Guys, proximity is a problem that you need to face. These people are gambling with your life, with your mental health, with your kids, with your future, with your food, and it's all because they want to make money. And the whole logic that we're going to be in these environments and just think we're going to thrive against all of these factors. You know, when I was making the decision to move to the UK, one of the things that I came to address in my own personal life was that, yes, up till now, I have been fortunate to not encounter, extreme tragic circumstances. But the reality is you can't function at 100% all the time. There may be a time when you lapse. There could be a time when these things begin to start affecting you. And if you're smart and you see that things are going on around you and they are consuming other people and affecting other people, the smart thing is not to keep gambling and say, yeah, I know I've avoided it up to now, but, let's hope for the best. The best thing is to say, ooh, I've avoided trouble up to now. Let me try to get out of Dodge. There's so many darts coming to those of us in the Western world. Okay? They're throwing like 100 darts at your head every day. And if you've ducked or you've shielded yourself, you're fortunate. One day, one of them darts or several of them darts is going to hit you. One day, one of those darts is going to hit a family member or a friend. Hello? Okay? One day, that dart's going to hit your job. It's going to hit your bank. It's going to hit your pocket. Okay? You can't avoid everything all the time. There's so many things coming at you in this proximity piece. Shout out to the African Superstar family. Okay, guys, let's get started on the comments. Thank you so much for being here today, African Superstar family. We have Sir Patrick. We have retired and rooted in Egypt. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Pink Cloud, good to see you. Pink Cloud says there was a side-by-side of identical snacks sold here versus in the UK, and the ingredients list variations were mind-blowing. I did see that. And basically, just like the gentleman said on the video, they're giving the scrap, chemical foods to Americans. Okay? In Europe, they are, regulating harder the foods. But ultimately, if you're a monopoly player, you want to just pass go and collect $200. You can come and eat organic here in the continent. See, I didn't even get to that part yet, but I'm just saying. Okay, you're going to actually eat food that's hand prepared here. Okay, very little processing going on from the farm to table type stuff. Not injecting your food with hormones. Why do you think the children are developing so quickly in the Western world? Because they're getting hormones before their time. Okay? Your body normally produces these hormones at what? Puberty. Okay? That's the natural process of when, young men and young women begin to develop. Young ladies at that time, they might get their menstrual cycle and all of that, be able to become pregnant at that time. You're chalking your kids full of hormones before their time. They're 10 years old looking like a 16-year-old or maybe older because of hormones in the foods. Retired and Rooted in Egypt says we definitely stand out physically. 100%. If they don't hear you, they're going to see you. If you go to airports and you see, people waddling, you see a lot of people in the wheelchairs, and this kind of, it's obesity. It's a dead giveaway. And when you start getting into the rest of the world, you're going to see how uncommon that excessive type of obesity is. You know that TV show, My 600-Pound Life? Have you noticed it's only out the U.S.? So the Middle East ain't on there. Africa ain't on there. Latin America ain't on there. I do know there's some obese people in Europe. But again, it's not widespread. It's a one-off. Obviously, there's probably obese people all around the world. But the abundance of the obesity is indicative of a problem. Pink Cloud says basically the American snacks consistently had more artificial coloring, chemicals, maltodextrin, high fructose corn syrup, etc. And the same snack sold in the UK didn't have half of those additives. Pink Cloud, I've already answered. Pink Cloud says, y'all can make these snacks without all the extras abroad, but why not here? Because they want to make money. Okay? To use better and higher quality ingredients is going to mean less profits for the company. I just gave you the figures that the pharmaceutical companies are making. Okay, let's see what the profits for the food processing, American food processing companies. Let's see what the profits were last year for them. Let's see. Profits for American, food companies. Oh, guys, this proximity series, even I be learning stuff. Thanks, Pink Cloud. Because of you. The U.S. food industry is a massive sector with an estimated annual worth of over $1.5 trillion. Most of the U.S. food companies analyzed have soaring profits. Hello. With Cheesecake Factory. How many of you guys like Cheesecake Factory? I like Cheesecake Factory. I'm not going to lie. Cheesecake Factory, 471% profits last year. Wingstop, 222% profits. Chipotle, a lot of my favorites is on here. Chipotle, 110%. Texas Roadhouse, hello. Am I going down your street? Texas Roadhouse, 77%. Let's see here. Jack in the Box restaurant, 213%. Cow main commodity that sells eggs, 268%. Woo! Chili's restaurant or the Brinkers Company, 50% profits. So you see, the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, big, huge money. That's why they don't want to lose any of those profits. Okay? Hey. Tuco Pamajoa, I see you there. Shout outs to Matrell on a mission. She's the only one who knows what year we're in, which is pretty embarrassing for you guys. Please get it together. Beacons of Light says, greetings from Washington, D.C. Big shout outs to you. I see you there. Yes, yes, yes. Tuco says, I remember there was a black man who sued Johnson & Johnson for contracting cancer as a result of using weed killer Roundup. I don't know what happened to him in his lawsuit against the pharmaceutical company. I vaguely remember that actually, Tuco. I don't know the outcome. Retired and rooted in Egypt. She says, if you dive deeper into who owns Big Pharma, you will see there is a more sinister game at play. I'm not even surprised, you know. Tuco says, dirty, rotten devils overseeing a nation of sick people for sheer profit and greed. Again, we're dealing with an unrepentant nation of narcissists. Beacon says, I cannot wait to leave America. Tuco says, when I visited America, I was struck how obese people were and the portion sizes. Britain has an epidemic of obesity and diabetes too. Pink Cloud, I see there. Hello. Like my hair, babe? Thank you, thank you. I just shared the other day that, I have such a basic hair care routine. But obviously, the longer you're natural, the better. You know, I have been natural in effect since 2018. I do wear a lot of braided styles and things like that. But in terms of my daily care with the hair, I have a water and oil mix here. Okay. Which I use the Jamaican castor oil is one of the oils I use. And then I also use raw shea butter from Ghana. But obviously you can get this in your beauty supply stores. And basically what I do, my regimen, I typically might wash my hair twice a week. Usually if I see some flakes or it gets really dry, because if you get really dry hair, you need to infuse the moisture. Okay. So you can put, the water. Sometimes when I have my afro and I take my shower, I just dampen my hair a bit. Then I will put on, just a dab of the shea butter. I'll just put a dab of it, rub it through my hair, and then you seal it with the oil. Okay, the oil locks in the moisture. And then I will twist it. And obviously I have, hello, Black Girls United. All the black girls stand up in the chat. You know what this is. Anybody else wearing bonnets? Y'all just trying to be like us. But yes, the universal, satin bonnet. And then I typically, tomorrow's Friday, so I kick it on Fridays. So I will throw my hair out tomorrow. So I'll take the twist down. And my twists aren't the most fancy twists. Some of you girls are way better hairdressers than me. You're gonna, part it and do all that. I basically just do, some few twists. I'm not the best with this. But thank you so much for the compliment. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I probably actually will watch it Saturday. I see a little couple flakes. So I probably will watch it, but it'll be good to go tomorrow. It'll be nice and fluffy. So in the morning, I'll just spray the water. Okay, the water oil mix. Take a little dab of shea butter. My hair care is very, very basic. Obviously you see a lot of people with natural hair and they're always, all these products that you need and all. I don't really think you need all that. I don't use all that. I haven't been using all that. So yes, thank you so much for that compliment. But yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully that will be helpful. Are you rocking your Are you rocking your afro, Pink Cloud? Pink Cloud says, on day to day, are you outside in Ghana, and how's life post the influx of fun during Daddy December? Well, Pink Cloud, I put a lot of vlogs up, baby girl. Yes. I put a lot of vlogs up. My day to day is not the most exciting. I go to the gym. That's usually what I do in the day. Um, I go to the gym, and unless I have something music related or a call or something scheduled, that's my day to day. Fridays is my night to hang out. I always go to my favorite, local joint on Friday nights, have a beer, have my favorite food, which is banku here in Ghana. And that's what I do. As far as Daddy December, I don't really do all those festivities. Hello. Those festivities are for you guys. Because the traffic is just too much in December, and they raise the prices up for all the influx of foreigners. So yeah, I don't have, the just totally abundant, busy, huge social life here in Ghana. But I'm pretty happy with what it is. So on day to day, Monday through Friday, my goals are the gym. Unless I have events on. Last week I had a tour. I had some visitors from the UK, so I was quite busy taking them around Accra. Next weekend I'll actually be on TV here in Ghana. Yes. Big shout outs. I'll be having my TV interview on next Thursday. So anybody here in Accra, you can catch me live on television. Yes. But yeah, I keep a pretty low profile. I keep a pretty low profile. People will tell you that. I mean, even the diasporians that are here in Ghana, very seldom do you see me in those circles, and very seldom do they see me, to the point when they do see me, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you were here. Where have you been? This kind of thing. Which, I mean, I just think it's better to keep a low profile, because a lot of stuff is going on, and I don't want to be mixed up in any debauchery. I have genuine interest here in Ghana. I don't want to affiliate with people that might be up to other things. And, I really keep a low profile. Hello. But you guys get to see me the most of all, because I usually come on my YouTube channel every day. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Back to the topic. Proximity, guys. Proximity. If you are in the Western world, your proximity is likely doing you more harm than good. And I have gone through so many topics on the playlist as to the effects. I still have so many. I looked, I made like a little list of different proximity issues, and it's just never ending. It's just never ending. So some of the upcoming proximity issues, we're going to talk about premature death. We're going to talk about explicit and violent culture. We're going to talk about perversion. We're going to talk about dysfunctional relationships, victim mindset, educational media brainwashing, and extreme wickedness. Extreme wickedness. Did you guys hear about that stepmom that kept her son hostage for 20 years? When I saw that story yesterday morning, I said, oh my God. Extreme wickedness. People ain't got that time here in Ghana to be doing stuff like that. They take, like, here's the level, and then they up the ante way, way higher, way beyond what your imagination could even fathom. Just no humanity, no sense of morality, and we're exposed to that in that environment. I have not ever heard of more heinous crimes than what happens in the Western world. And the unfortunate thing is we become desensitized to it. Because just like I'm talking about and showing you videos, if you've been in the US, obviously you've seen fat people. You might be fat. You might be obese. And because it's just a common issue around, you think it's norm. You probably wouldn't realize until you venture out and go to other countries. Oh my gosh, wow. And then when you're able to pick out other Americans because of their physical attributes, then you might see that, wow, is it an American thing? Is it a location thing? I'm here to tell you, yes. Our proximity to them is bad. It's bad, 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 bad. So today we're talking about obesity, poor health, and toxic food. What's up, Kobe? Kobe says, watch the video of a woman who moved to Tanzania. Her health drastically improved. Um, Number one, constant stress. Number two, clean food. Her kids are happier. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, and obviously, like with a lot of health conditions, there are other ways to treat your health conditions than medicine. Okay? You can utilize herbs, you can utilize diet, you can utilize exercise, you know, um clean foods, whole foods, reducing sugars, and this is another thing. Do you guys notice how they put sugar in everything in the Western world? Do you know you can have a sugar addiction? Your body gets used to that sugar rush. It's kind of like, okay, one of my guilty pleasures is that Baja Blast Mountain Dew, okay? At Taco Bell. Okay? When you get that ice cold Baja Blast, that first taste, the way it just kicks it up, huh? That's that sugar rush. Okay, when you get a glass of water, albeit it could be refreshing, you don't get that same effects. What's up, Sweetberry 32? How are you doing today? We're on another proximity. Let me see if I can find because I remember some time ago there is a documentary about sugar addiction. And it's very interesting. Let's see. Let me see, sugar addiction documentary. Let me see if I can find. I think it might be called Sugar, but it's called What the Health. What the Health is the sugar documentary. Okay?
So we are being poisoned by this stuff, and it's been added surreptitiously to all of our food, every processed food. Okay? And the question is, why? How did this happen?
Professor Lustig is now internationally sought after for his potent anti-sugar message.
There are three things that sugar does that these other foodstuffs don't. Liver fat, cell aging, interfering with your brain's functioning to regulate how much to eat. That makes it toxic.
Are you saying that the standard of evidence for the toxicity of sugar and the disease-causing effects of sugar are the same as for tobacco?
Absolutely.
How is it that people are still lagging behind in terms of their understanding of the disease-causing effect of sugar?
Nigel, why do you think I'm sitting down talking to you? Because your viewers need to understand that what they've been told, what they've been sold for the last 40 years is a bill of goods that has been designed specifically to make money for the food industry and to hurt them. It's time to change the paradigm.
Well, something's got to change, because more than 65% of Kiwi adults are now obese or overweight, and nearly 33% of children. And as I look around, I'm now wondering, how much is sugar implicated in all of this?
So the first question is, how much sugar do you need? And the answer is zero. There are no biological processes in the body that require dietary sugar. Your liver has a capacity to metabolize a finite amount. A little is okay. A lot is not. When you overwhelm your liver's capacity to metabolize it, you get in trouble. And that is what we are seeing.
And he reckons that's because sugar is being slipped into everyday food without us knowing it.
So we are being poisoned by this.
Okay. So that's a whole nother topic about the excess sugar. But you get addicted to it. You know what I mean? So what I noticed, for instance, on my last visit to the US was they are putting sugar and sodium in like everything. Everything. And I could actually taste it. When you live abroad, Matrell could probably attest to this, as she's been living in Egypt for some time now. When you live abroad and then you go and visit the Western world, you can taste it. You can taste the saltiness of foods. You can taste the sweetness of things. I mean, like fizzy drinks, um, sweets, candies and all this stuff, you can just taste the excessive sugars and sodiums in your food. And that's what the problem is. This professor was saying that your body is designed that it can handle a small amount of sugars. So, where you would naturally get sugars is typically fruits, things like that. Fruits will give you sugar naturally. All right. But you see how big an apple is. You see how big an orange is. You see how big a banana is. That is a moderate amount of sugar, right? Even if you use natural sugars like honey, to give you a little bit of sweetener, you're talking about moderate, minimal amounts of sugar. When you get that 24-ounce Baja Blast, you go to the Speedway and you fill it up with Coke, okay? That 1 cup of sugar that you have taken is more than your whole daily amount. You've probably exceeded your daily amount of sugar umpteen times just by one, large drink. Okay? Then you're going to eat food. Then you're going to eat candy. Then you might have dessert in the night. You might have a cup of tea or a pack of biscuits. You see, it's sugar overload. And what ends up happening, because obviously you can't absorb all that sugar in one day and you're not also exercising. Obviously, to exercise it and burn calories takes a long time. So you wouldn't even be able to burn all the sugar that you amass in one day. So it turns into what? Fat, obesity. And so we can look at the American people and just visually deduce there is an issue with the food, the eating habits, and all of this, because these people have grown so huge and fat. Okay? Big shout outs to the family. PP Bob, good to see you. PP Bob says some black women reported they moved over there to Tanzania and the men had stamina when laying up to them due to the natural foods and abundant vitamin D. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I don't know what has anything to do with anything, PP Bob. Lord have mercy. But obviously, yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about the benefits of better nutrition, it does give you energy. I'm sure it does also improve your sexual lives, your performance, just your desire and urge, because you're not laden. Obviously, the more obese you are, it does affect your daily routines. Something as routine as maybe doing a flight of stairs, to get to your apartment or get to your office becomes labored. And also because there's really no promotion of pedestrian lifestyle outside of a few major US cities, you're also not having any level of activity. Some of you guys go from your bed to your bathroom to your car, okay? And your car to your desk, okay? Your desk to the drive-through. Then you come home, park it on the couch, take a shower, and into the bed. And if you actually catalog how many steps you've done, does anybody count their steps in here? Let me see a number 2. Does anybody keep up with how much steps they do, how much activity they do? If you actually looked at your steps with some of your circuits in a day, what you've done in a day, you'd probably be shocked to see you've done maybe 500 steps. Maybe. That's literally nothing. The recommended amount is 10K for most adults. 10,000 steps. You're not even remotely close to what your body, what type of activity you should be doing on a daily basis. And that's one thing I'm going to give to Europe. Europe has really incorporated pedestrian life. So people get exercise in their comings and goings. They have made it convenient for you to cycle to work, for you to be able to walk to the local grocery shops. They put parks everywhere, and beautiful landscaping to make it appetizing, to make it alluring and things like that. In addition to regulating the foods a bit more and things like that. In Europe, albeit there is a lot of processed food, the portion sizes are much smaller. Again, going to the US last summer, I mean, the portions are like astronomical. You can't even buy a simple candy bar anymore in the US. Every candy bar, it's like the king size everywhere. I was in the petrol station every day, and you just want a little snack, just a little something, something. All the drinks are like 20 ounces and above, and all the snacks are king size, or king size bags of crisp. It's just like, oh my gosh. So then you're going to have that snack. They put a lot of appetite enhancers in the food, so sometimes once you eat in an hour or two, you're hungry again. You've eaten a Whopper burger, a large fry, and a large Coke, and within 2 hours you're hungry again. you know So anyway, guys, this is another topic of proximity. If you are here, if you got in a little late, like Sweetberry 32, then you can get the playback, and you can also check out the playlist to see the other symptoms of proximity. The proximity is affecting our people in so many ways. I saw a post from one of my friends from Ghana that lives in Columbus, Ohio. And he posted something very interesting today. He said that all of the recent deaths of Ghanaians in the US that he knows were all cancer. And he was asking himself, what is it, that is causing this? And I kindly got on the post and told him, hey, proximity, bro. In other words, the food, the water, there's lots of, I didn't even cover that. I didn't even cover all the chemicals in the water. Okay. The lack of vitamin D, the overt stress. We don't want to accept as Black people, it's not our homeland. Okay? The environment is harsh on us out the gate because it's not our homeland. Is it a coincidence that Black people need vitamin D, and vitamin D comes from the sun, and our homeland is full of vitamin D? The whole year it's full of vitamin D. Is that a coincidence? Do you guys find that unusual? Do you guys think it's unusual that when we happen to be in Western environments, we happen to be in Europe or Canada or whatever, the winter comes, we get depression. Okay, we get unhappy. We start to develop skin issues and all of that. Okay, what is happening, if you were keen to understand, is your environment is letting you know, hey, this is not where it is. Is it a coincidence that when members of the diaspora come to Africa, they get happy, things start working out, they lose weight, they make friends, they come out of their shell, life turns around for them? Is it a coincidence? No. This is our natural indigenous habitat. Okay? That is what it is. Hard pill to swallow for some of you, but just the facts. Okay? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? PP Bob, I don't know what's on your mind today. I'm not going to read that comment. I don't know what's on your mind, bro. I don't know what's on your mind. But like I said, obviously better nutrition will increase your sexual performance, which seems to be on your mind. Okay? Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Thank you to everybody who was in the room today and hit the likes. Obviously, I want to remind you guys about my bespoke tours that are available. I did post my link to my questionnaire on the community tab. So for those of you guys that want to take the next step and begin planning your trips with me, you need to complete the questionnaire and then we move forward. Also, we have our group collaborative tour with Mr. Taye and Uhuru in October. So we definitely want to see you guys, and there's a lot of perks to that. Kente cloth photo shoot and a Welcome to Ghana exclusive concert for the guests of that tour. So don't miss it. Plus 7 whole days with me and Mr. Taye and Uhuru. Selfie game up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be kicking it, having a good time. We're going to take you to our insider favorite spots here in Ghana. You don't want to miss this stuff, okay? And last but not least, please make sure you add the African Superstar to your streams. You can also purchase my whole catalog at bandcamp.com. All right. So if you enjoy our channel and you're not yet subscribed, you're enjoying the proximity series, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss my upcoming series. Okay. Until we meet again, stay Black and true. If you ain't Black, just stay true.